The Honolulu Star was drifting slowly. The immense harbor of Singapore loomed ahead beneath a massive veil of dust, like some mythical dome smothering the city.
Let's handle the most urgent matters first, smiling stranger.
Whatever you say, Your Majesty.
They stood leaning against the ship's railing, talking casually.
You don't seem to care about anything. That's a proper royal attitude.
Then I've clearly been royal all along.
Silentium.
And what's that? Sounds fancy. I'd like to say it too.
It means be quiet.
Right. Silentium, good word. I'll use it.
Listen to me, my friend. For 150 years, the throne of the Islands of Happiness has passed from father to son. One of our ancestors drove out the first English invaders. And since then, by decree of the Spanish king, our family has ruled the islands. The late Mr. Gould, whom I mentioned before, was my uncle, His Grace, Prince Regent Fernandez. I didn't like the man, but still, it pains me how he passed.
A chill ran down Jimmy's spine. He couldn't shake the mystery that still haunted him. Who was the dead man whose hand he'd tucked back under the sheet? Who killed Mr. Gould? Where did the cabinet go? And what kind of madness was all this?
I need you to remember a few critical things. From the moment you stand in for me, you must know nothing about the world. Nothing at all. Is that clear?
Crystal.
I lived in Elmira, capital of the Islands of Happiness, until I was 8. After my father died, my uncle, who became the regent by the grace of God and also my guardian, took me to France. There, I attended military school. In the last 2 years, I continued my education as the guest of the English king at a royal college. Then, quite unexpectedly, the regent came for me. Here in Singapore, I'm to meet my mother's brother, Sir Egmont, Count of Elmira. Good man. He visited me every year, whether I was at Sancerre or at Balmoral with His Majesty. Fortunately, he's not in Singapore at the moment. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to blend in. He knows me too well. He's currently back in Elmira.
If Your Majesty allows, I'd also like to share a few key facts about myself.
By all means, I'm most curious.
I won't bore you with family history. I follow the old rule. Speak well of your ancestors, or not at all. Mine also beat their rivals once, but it involved taverns, not thrones. And taverns are poor places to reign from.
You're impertinent, but amusing.
There you go. In the Singapore underworld, however, my name carries quite the reputation. Look up some of my friends.
Such as?
For instance, there's Spiky Vonek, genius. Last year he kicked a postman so hard they're still studying the case in medical school. Just tell him, Heavy Fridolin sends his regards. He's currently in Martinique. You should write this down. It's extremely useful intel.
Very well. I'll even memorize it word for word.
Smart move. I've got a good relationship with the deputy at the Skullshavers Club. We did time together at the Sumba Penal Colony. They call him Tin Eye. Bit rough, not very refined, but he likes me.
I'm listening.
In Batavia, down the prison corridor, there's a staircase on the right and the warden's office on the left. The wall is painted olive green with a yellow border. Memorize it like a poem.
Why?
Just write it, Your Majesty. Very important. Learn it like a nursery rhyme.
Mr. Irving scribbled everything into a little red notebook and decided he really would memorize it.
Tell Brainbone to leave town fast. Hobo Fisher escaped from Aden.
That one I don't understand.
You will. When the time comes, it'll all make sense. Just note it down. Good.
Thank you. Now go put on my late uncle's modified suit. The harbor pilot's boat is approaching.
Whoa there, Your Majesty. Someone stole this from Mr. Gould Fernandez's cabin. Official papers.
He handed over a stag leather bag bearing a royal seal. His Majesty tucked it into his inner pocket. It contained the Prince Regent's diplomatic correspondence. Right now, he couldn't care less about diplomacy.
You have my gratitude.
Your Majesty, use my connections well. Best of luck.
To you as well, my friend.
His Majesty offered his hand. Jimmy gave it a warm shake and added one last bit of streetwise wisdom.
But your majesty, in the underworld, a good punch is still the best connection. That's what I call direct diplomacy. A truly self-evident solution, if I may say so.
Before the ship docked, His Majesty, on Jimmy's advice, bought a set of second-hand clothes. Respectable, but clearly worn. A stretched-out undershirt, a battered cap, and shoes that had already seen several wars. After much persuasion, Jimmy even handed over his sergeant's revolver and his lead-weighted baton, along with a quick crash course on how to use them.
Tuck the baton into your left inner pocket, your majesty. Strap side up,
And what's that for?
in case there's trouble. You shrug your shoulders slightly, and if the baton nudges under your arm, you'll know it's still there. That gives a man confidence. Helps make negotiations smoother.
And then?
Well, if words fail and you need stronger arguments, you pretend to scratch yourself. Start at the middle of your chest, work your way up toward your shoulder.
But that's rather uncouth. Scratching oneself in public.
Out in the suburbs, that doesn't necessarily exclude a man from polite society. So, if your fingers find the strap, wham.
Wham!
Roughly translated, an 8-day recovery, a 12-centimeter contusion, some bruising, maybe a crack or two on the skull.
Thank you.
And when you pull it, make it one motion. Same as tipping a hat from your pocket onto someone's head.
That sounds terrible. It could be lethal.
Don't get your hopes up too soon, your majesty. Beginners rarely get such excellent results. The main thing is one fluid motion. Same goes for the pistol. Fire it mid-draw, from thigh level.
You know, my good man, fighting seems to follow just as precise and efficient a system as formal warfare.
The key is to hit first, your majesty. That's crucial.
Even military doctrine agrees. The side that seizes initiative holds the upper hand.
And a beer mug, or a chair leg. Then, bang, right into it.
Bang!
Like wham, but worse. Takes longer to heal, strongly reduces the victim's work capacity. Speed is everything.
Napoleon said, "Speed is half the battle."
Spiky Vanek says the same. In his words, he who strikes first, laughs last.
I believe such events are unlikely. A ruler shouldn't stoop to that kind of experience.
Still, never hurts to know. The Raja of Karmatla is a powerful man too, and once disguised himself to walk through the docks of Hong Kong. No one dared touch him after he revealed his identity. But before that, oh, the chaos! One twitchy local slapped him 43 times before he could even introduce himself. Ever since then, the Raja only walks the harbor with heralds ahead of him, shouting his name and rank.
Mr. Irving's first act after setting foot in Singapore was to do something he'd always dreamed of. He put his hands in his pockets. A king doesn't do such things, especially not in public. But now, hands deep in his pockets, he strolled into the chaos of Raffles Street and let the city swallow him whole. And in that moment, he understood why most people never aspire to royalty. What a joy! To walk down the street, alone, pushed and jostled, on your own 2 feet, with hands in your pockets. Someone bumped into him so hard he staggered against a wall. "Sorry," the man muttered, then hurried off. For the first time in his life, he was treated like a nobody. Someone barked at him to stop gawking. A policeman, not impolite but firm, pushed him aside from a police gate as a car exited. Street vendors shoved trinkets in his face. One even grabbed his arm while rattling off 100 item names in rapid-fire babble. All unforgivable offenses. And yet, pure delight. He sat down at a small cafe, the kind where glum-faced agents and modest shopkeepers nursed their bitter drinks. He ordered a watery coffee and a cheap pastry, and it tasted like the best meal of his life. The waiter stood nearby, absent-mindedly gazing at the street. To be continued.